Everyone drink your prime. We're about to get into this shit.
I like my cheese moldy, bruh.
Oh, I like that.
I like my purple prime. I like my pink prime. I like my white prime.
Hey, I don't care if your prime's white, yellow, or blue. We're all the same.
Yep. It doesn't matter what color prime you drink. We're all drinking the same thing.
It's all the same thing.
It's all the same amount of sugar.
Hey, it's all got electrolytes.
Yeah, too many. Far too many electrolytes. I know, I'm a boxer. And I'm athletic. And I didn't injure my back this morning.
Oh.
Welcome back to She Ruined My Career number 53. I'm going to start saying the number.
Smart.
Because that actually helps me when editing as well. Because I'm like, oh, this is 53. Okay. Yeah, so we missed last week's. I think we only missed 1 week of podcast.
Really?
I think so.
Wow.
As far as official podcast, we did a makeup podcast for the Patreon. Shout out Bogladites. Yeah, today we're just going to fill you in like Philip DeFranco does. We're going to give you the scoop, the big news. And the big news was our basement flooded.
not the...
What?
It's just
Does it
so
sound like I said something?
No, it's just so funny with like everything that's happened the last week, like the Asmund Gold clip and everything.
Right,
and you're
right.
like, here's the news, guys.
Well, they come here to escape that.
No, yeah.
You know? They're like, just give me some good old-fashioned news.
Like you're talking to your neighbor and they're just telling you about how, like, I don't know, they found mold in their
Exactly.
bread this morning and it annoyed them. And you're like, man, this is the right level of drama for me. Okay.
Exactly. In fact, we should get into a habit of just doing like local news stories from our area. So people can be like, oh, so that's what's happening in Seattle. Okay.
Oh.
It really isn't like that bad of a place. They suffer the same types of things that we suffer over here.
We all bleed the same blood.
Yeah.
Seattle blood.
We all drink the same prime.
It's the same as Austin, Texas blood.
We all eat the same lunchlies. Man, these brands are like, they're rough.
Yeah,
I don't like saying them.
I kind of like saying lunchly.
I like saying I'm in my prime, though.
Yeah.
'Cause that's
Oh,
just regular.
Okay. That's some other big
drinking my
news.
prime.
Before we're talking about our big news, KSI's newest song.
Oh, yeah, guys. KSI's newest song. I know we're way late to the game on that.
Yeah.
But that's what happened while our basement was flooding.
Yeah. Well,
So, let me, I'm going to fill them in.
Hurricane
Let me
as
fill
well.
them in. Oh, right, hurricane.
Yeah.
Man.
Sorry. Okay. I'll let.
Okay, so, yeah, I mean, we went into more detail on the bog. If you want to listen to the bog, we go into great detail, great specific detail. But basically, a worker who's working on our house, we're doing a little small remodel, and they hit a pipe, and it went bazoonga into our basement, and it was going...
The pipe didn't go
lunch,
bazoonga.
go lunch, go lunch.
You're making
go
it
lunch.
sound like it rocket launched into the...
No, I mean, it just sprung a leak. Well, leak makes it sound small. It was big.
It busted a nut in our basement.
Yeah, that's an accurate amount of water.
For a house.
For a house. True.
For
Imagine, like, if a house, like, based on daily usage of a house, if a house busted a nut, that's how much water was on our floor.
The size comparison checks out.
Yeah, got over. It was almost terrible news. You're going to want to get close up on this. The hard drive that holds all of the Creator Clash documentary stuff, that was right underneath the bursted pipe.
Yeah.
And it was dumping. Dumping. It was all on the surface, though, thankfully. When the workers came by to try to, like, fix things, they were, like, flipping things upside down. I was like, no, don't flip it upside down. The water's going to get into the cracks. And then we wouldn't be able to see, like, the behind-the-scenes of Michael Reeves hitting a heavy bag.
Man, I don't know. Take this how you want. But when I was watching you make faces at the camera, it gave me the same serotonin rush I get from seeing somebody peel back the skin of a dog's face.
Oh, nice.
I don't know what it is. There's something so appealing.
Well, when you said serotonin, I was like, okay, phew. Because I was really afraid it was going to go to a dark place.
It's just there's something about the faces that you make. It just
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. Anyways.
Okay.
That was just
Put that on my epitaph.
Oh.
Yeah. There's something about the faces he makes.
Yeah. ...
I don't know.
What was the first ever
Face made?
There's like this Gilgamesh.
I don't know. Oh, the creature from Blue's
Black Lagoon.
Clues. Blue Smurfs. Blue Smurfs.
Oh wait,
Is
is
the
that
human? I think he's the human from Blue Smurfs.
Okay, I'm remembering completely wrong. Somebody help me. It's not. It must not be Gilgamesh. I don't know why I came up with that. The first ever recorded story in history. It's on an epitaph or on
a tomb.
stone,
Gilgamesh tomb.
Gilgamesh. Oh, so it is Gilgamesh.
Well, I mean, there's
That's
a
the
lot of
first
results.
ever-
It seems like the number one result is an anime.
It's Gilgamesh.
Well, is it? Or are you making that up?
No, I'm just saying it's sort of like Gilgamesh, so it's Gilgamesh.
Oh, it's Esqueue.
Oh,
Gilgamesh.
oh, I like that. I'm gonna be Gilgamesh for Halloween.
Someone will know that. That was something I had to learn in art history. Was the first ever recorded story. It was like an epic story about a dude who like goes through. I think Hercules was based off of it.
Okay.
I don't know. Somebody tell me.
Well, I will say the first time I heard the word Gilgamesh,
Babylon. Something about some.
it was when I was looking for rare and unique Minecraft seeds, and when I was looking for these seeds, one of them was named Gilgamesh, and I want to say that the landscape was just very like magical and big, and there's like a lot of good stuff in the starting area that you start out at. So just letting you know if you're booting up a session of Minecraft.
The Epic of Gilgamesh.
Okay.
It's an epic poem concerning or very loosely based on the historical king Gilgamesh.
You know what white culture is?
What is
What?
white culture?
Mispronouncing Gilgamesh is Gilgamesh.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like instead of saying lava, saying lava.
That's just you.
A lava lamp.
Lava lamp. Llama.
Yeah.
A llama.
Yeah. Gilbert Gottfried.
The epic epitaph.
Oh,
of
I found out Gilbert Gottfried followed me the other day.
What? I thought bro was dead.
He is dead.
Yeah.
I just mean to say retroactively, like he's passed.
Oh, you made it sound
But
like
I looked and saw that he was currently
You worded
following
that.
me.
You intentionally worded that like he came back from the grave to follow you.
I didn't mean to say it
I
that
really
way.
thought we needed to check you
Yeah.
into a psych ward.
No, but yeah. I don't know if that's an appropriate topic, but it is interesting to think about. Like, be careful who you follow online, because when you pass, you're going to be following them forever.
Oh, true. You
Kinda
can't
deep.
unfollow them.
Yeah.
It is kind of amazing. I have been thinking about that a lot lately. Total Biscuit and stuff, like going back and realizing that they have like a grave site that you can visit
Yeah.
anytime and like honor them by just like looking through their
Yeah.
online activity. It's kind of like,
Yeah. You can even retweet,
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Although I think there should be some sort of delineation between an account of someone who has passed, if they're like official enough. I mean, it's exactly why the fucking verified thing on Twitter should have remained a fucking verified thing and not whatever the fuck Musk turned it into. Because I could imagine it would start with something like that, where it's like, oh, this was an official person recognized for whatever journalism or whatever it is, celebrity. So when they officially pass, you can kind of retire that account, and there's some sort of like indication, like this tweet or this retweet was from a past person.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think speaking of like Musk being weird, did you see that people are doing the blue sky movement thing again?
I
Like trying to
did.
go to
That
blue
was.
sky?
Did you see the source of that or the reasoning?
No, I always thought it was because people didn't like the block, like what has happened with the block button.
Oh,
So,
that is part of it for sure.
okay.
Yeah. No, I saw someone saying that it was announced that whatever you post on Twitter can now be used, yes, for their AI.
GROK.
And so a lot of artists,
GROK.
I think specifically, like led the movement
Yeah.
to say, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
This shit sorks.
Dane, if somebody like introduced themselves to you as GROK, would you assume that they're evil?
No, I would assume they were like a caveman or something.
Oh, like dumb.
Like
Or like a literal
no.
caveman.
No, like I would. I don't know. I like if they introduced themselves as having the name GROK.
Yeah.
Is that your question?
Yeah, like for me, like GROK, the name GROK, for some reason I feel like GROK's going to kill me eventually. Does that make
I just
sense?
imagine a dude with like a big like club, and he's got like a loincloth, and he's just gonna swing it.
I kind of imagine like maybe like a Biff from like Back to the Future, but like also kind of like Terminator stuff. Like I don't know what it is about it, but something about it seems like innately evil.
Right. It's a little bit alpha.
Yeah. Well, it's like if, before people knew who Satan was.
Yeah.
I feel like if somebody was like, hey, I'm Satan, like that vibe is like,
yeah.
Like Satan has a vibe to it in the same way that GROK has a vibe to it.
Oh, interesting.
If that makes sense. Like I know this is significantly evil.
Man, yeah, I wonder how I'd react to the name Satan if I didn't know about it.
Yeah, if you didn't know who Satan was.
Satan.
Sounds like satin, like a satin sheet.
But
sounds comfortable.
Cozy. I was gonna say, kind of sounds like Clayton. You know Clayton?
Oh.
Yeah, from Tarzan.
Clayton from down the road.
From down the road. I'm Satan. He's Clayton. Welcome to our podcast.
Hey, welcome to Satan and Clayton podcast.
There's something about I don't know. Obviously, like how we're raised in culture and stuff is like plays a big role in that. But like, there's that one claymation show. I watched it when I was like very young, and I was like, "Whoa, this is fucking metal as fuck." It was that one where it's Albert Einstein, and he takes the kids into this door claymation, and there's like this being that like is holding a mask,
Oh,
do you know what I'm talking about?
Okay, no. The only reason I know about it is because we saw it on like TikTok or YouTube video or something, and you were like, I remember this from when I was a fucking kid.
Yeah.
I never saw that shit.
That was
that
kid's
was
show.
Freaky.
Yeah, because the kids are like playing and making sandcastles, and then they're like, well, what are you anyways? And then the thing is like an angel. And they're like, oh, what's your name? And then it's like Satan. And the way that it says Satan and the way that it's faced, like, it's just so creepy. That shit is the creepiest. It sat with me my whole life. Cool show. Like,
The Adventures of Mark Twain?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Full claymation side.
It wasn't Einstein. It was Mark Twain.
No, Einstein, I think, is part of the meme.
Oh, I think it's Mark Twain.
Wait, what is it? Oh, no, you're probably right. Yeah. I'm seeing it now.
Yeah.
It looks like there were some, like, recent videos about it. Recent in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is so fucked. They're making the sandcastles, and then the, like, earth opens up, and you see all these, like, happy little sandcastle guys just, like, getting swallowed up by the earth and crushed and, like, fucked up, and the sound effects, like the foley in it.
Yeah.
I remember, like, I think I was like 14 when I saw that, and I was like, this is kind of fucking metal.
Oh, is that what you said? This is metal? You weren't like, fuck, mommy.
No, I was really into, like, salad fingers and stuff.
Okay.
And, like, the fucking, what was that called? The polyp or whatever? The big fluid gland on the tree, and they were all like,
spaghetti monster?
No, it was like some animation about a polyp.
I don't know that.
I don't know. Dane, do you know what I'm talking about?
Perry's polyp. I don't know.
And there was something about Luxembourg, and like somebody's gonna know what I'm talking about.
Okay, well,
they're all like, "Oh,
give it to us in the comments."
And it like rots off the tree, and
can't say I'm aware of that one at all. Okay, so today I saw a car.
Oh yeah.
I had to bring this up because it was a little bit of a not necessarily an epiphany. I was just like, okay, any opportunity I have where I'm feeling a feeling that I would normally be very judgmental toward, I like to embrace it. I like to spew it. Today I saw a car that made me understand how a car guy or girl could come into existence.
Yeah.
Because I was walking past this thing and it made me double take.
It did. It broke his
Yeah.
neck.
And I'll put a picture up here. It was a fucking Toyota MT 1985 Toyota MT2, something like that. This thing was sick as fuck.
Yeah, it's like what a DeLorean wishes it was.
Yeah. It
To
was
me.
Yeah, it was like a kind of a cool future shiny blue color,
It
but not
looks
too
like
blue.
it should be in like Akira
Yeah.
or it's like a perfect blue. Dane's like fucking cackling. Dane, did you
Sorry.
look it up?
I just typed in what you said,
Yeah.
which was wrong because this came up. Here, can you see this?
Wait. No. Wait.
I'll need to fucking bend my back.
Oh. Ben, you
Oh,
bet.
sorry. I thought you had the mouse near you.
Let me look on the Discord. I'll look on the Discord.
Well, I need to see too.
No, I know, but I'll give it to you. Okay. Or well. Okay. I could have just gave you my phone.
Shit, that ain't it.
What is the actual name of the car? Because
Please.
that's definitely not it.
Please show the internet what you just.
Okay, I'll tell you what it is. I just wrote in my notes. I said 1985 blue, but that's not what it is. It's not.
No.
Toyota 1985 blue. Yeah, that narrows it down.
It says a Toyota MR2 1985. Yeah, MR2.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This is a cool car. I agree. This is an appealing car.
I think it also helps because I really don't like walking past an old car and then being like, ooh, it looks unpleasant to be inside. Like I'm not going to have my, as Doug DeMuro would put it, I wouldn't have any of my creature comforts. And I'm like, I want like maybe some modern leather seats. I maybe want some like comfiness, some ergonomics and shit. But this one looked like pretty clean, looked like pretty well kept together.
The color was so nice. It's funny because actually before Ian did a double take, when I was walking home yesterday from picking up Merlin's food, I saw this car and I stopped and looked at it. And I was like, that is a fucking cool car. So when Ian brought it up today, I was like, whoa.
Yeah. We
I was
actually like the same car. This is
independently,
weird.
yeah.
Yeah. Because
So-
we don't normally even fucking point out a car that's
never. Neither of us are
different.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one for sale. Oh wait, no, it was for sale a year ago for
Damn.
$16,000.
Oh, that's the one that Ian saw.
Yeah. I was checking. I was like, all right, maybe I can start my car. What is that?
Your car fetish?
No, not my car fetish.
Starting his
There's a
car fetish.
fund.
There's a
Fun.
there's a particular word that I want to start using, but I keep mixing it up. I think it's soiree.
I think that's fucking.
No, soiree isn't fucking.
I think it's
babe.
innuendo for
No.
fucking. Isn't it?
Oh no, not soiree. No, foray is the word I meant to say.
Oh,
Okay.
But
yeah,
what is
your
soiree?
journey.
I think it's innuendo
Soiree
for
is French
fucking.
word that means an elegant evening party. Oh, a soiree.
Yeah.
So why did you think it meant fucking?
Yeah.
I think it's because like I'm like thinking about like eyes wide open or whatever, like let's
Eyes
have
wide
a stroll,
shut.
or whatever the fuck it's called.
It's the opposite.
Eyes-
eyes
violent
Eyes wide
fuck.
open. Oh,
eyes wide shut. Where they're kind of like having soirees.
right.
You
Well,
know?
it's like a fancy like cult orgy sort of thing.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people may see this car and they may think that is a midlife crisis car.
Oh,
Maybe we're having our midlife crisis.
yeah.
That would make sense.
I don't think that that's true, but I think that maybe people might see that and think that. So would you respond to those haters?
Probably.
Oh, yeah. Like that's fair of you to think that. I'm not so
Very
far.
well could be.
Yeah. Well, again, this is important to bring it up,
Yeah.
right? Like that's how you see the signs. You share it with your family. Like a lot of guys going through midlife crisis, like if they just shared that,
Yeah.
they could be told, "Hey, by the way, this is just a sign of midlife crisis."
Right now, Dane could touch your knee and be
Yeah.
like, Ian, this may be a midlife crisis.
Because there are some versions of this car that have like a spoiler on the back, and to me, any car that has a spoiler on the back
That's
feels
true.
like overcompensating.
I
in
want
some
to
way.
like here. To me, it's very like Akira or like that anime where the song "Back on the Rocks," back on. I think it's like D1 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That is the vibe of that
That's
car.
cool. Yeah.
And that's why I like that. I think
Yeah.
that is important.
Yeah. Well, and I think and I also think the important thing is like, what does a car, like realistically, what does it mean to own a car like this?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, even if we had like a bigger house and a 4-car garage to like park something in, like, what does it actually mean? It's like, I barely even drive the car that we currently have.
Yeah.
And it's like, am I going to start enjoying driving around? Like, no, I'm not really going to enjoy driving around, even if it's in a cool car.
But it's to look cool.
It's to sit there and look cool.
It's for us.
Yeah.
Let me also, I think this is a big distinction between a midlife crisis and
A crisis actor.
and
That's just myself.
and just like being like knowing yourself more and knowing what you like and having money because we don't have kids
Right.
or whatever
Sure.
is it's not like you're buying an Audi R8. Like I feel like
I don't know what that means.
well that was like a cool it car when we were like 16 to 18. Like if you were buying a car that like when you were 18, 20, like in what you thought was your prime, if you were buying a car to like emulate that, I think that's more of an indication of a midlife crisis rather than like I when was that car? 85?
Yeah.
It's like an 80s car. We weren't even alive in the 80s.
They have, I think they have newer versions. When I just looked up the model, it was like, oh, some fucking less angular versions, very rounded versions. Like, not recently, but like in the 2000s.
The 80s is like
Yeah.
cooler car in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I agree.
So I think that's a unique distinction because I think about guys in midlife crises and they're like getting Porsches or like Mustangs or like Jaguars. Jaguars are kind of out now, but like my dad's friends were buying like Porsches and Jaguars.
And their 20-year-old wives are encouraging it
Yes.
because they want to be able to buy stuff for themselves.
Yeah, and then their 20-year-old wives are also like buying them True Religion jeans to like try and fit them into. That's what was going on when I was.
Oh, I like that. Going around the 56-year-old man hiking
Yeah.
up his fucking
too
jeans.
tight for him, bedazzled jeans. Yeah, it happened a lot.
Have you guys ever seen the movie American Beauty with Kevin Spacey?
Oh no.
That movie is like literally about having a mental or a midlife crisis, and in that movie, he buys a Pontiac Firebird. This car.
Oh, let me pull it up on my phone so you don't have to do gymnastics again. The Pontiac Firebird. It's so interesting you say that. I dated a guy that was actually scared to buy that because he was like, "It's a chick car," and I looked at it and I was like, "How the fuck is that a chick car?" It's in the
It's a cool name. Filebud.
It's like a motorways.
I want to call what looks a little bit more like Zapdos.
wait, where is it? I don't know where it is in here.
Oh, it would be to me, not to you.
Oh,
But that's okay. I have my phone with me.
Nice.
And
Just
I
look up
can-
1970 Pontiac Firebird, and that's
No,
what
I'm just going to look
talking
at
about.
Dane's picture that he sent me.
because it's important.
Oh, yeah. That shit's cool. Here, I'll show you.
Yeah, no, that's
Right?
sick. I think that's sick.
I also love fucking black and white checkered like flooring, but only for like a bathroom or a kitchen.
I
in
agree
my
with that.
opinion, or like a little a quirky space.
Yeah.
Like here's the room with the black and white
And some
checkered
plants.
flooring.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Cancel me if you want to.
Go ahead, cancel me. Go ahead.
What
Oh,
else?
also,
Yeah.
Do you still have access to that chat? I have another picture I want to show you.
Oh yeah, I always have access to
Okay, because
chats.
oh, you weren't banned. Okay, good. I saw this thumbnail, so I thought it was funny
Oh
because we were talking about we
yeah.
were talking about the hurricane and Philip DeFranco earlier, so I just wanted to bring that up.
Oh,
I just think-
oh my god!
I just like how it kind of looks like it says avoid this area,
Pokemon's
like
in this area.
Like Pokemon is at large.
Pokemon's lost in the. Just to give listeners who
I'll
aren't.
show him a picture.
I know, but
Oh, yeah.
but listeners who aren't
listeners. Yeah,
seeing the
that's
visuals, it's just Philip DeFranco always does this weird, not weird, it makes sense, a split screen of like two big topics that he's talking about in his video, and this one he had the hurricane, like a map of like the flooding of the hurricane, and then on the other side Pokemon, like she's lost at seas or something.
Oh, I like that interpretation.
The avoid this area with a big red thing. Just I love how it implicates that she is in that area and she's been spotted and that you should avoid it.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Or she's a victim in that area.
Yeah, and that's why you should avoid it because it will get you too.
Yeah, if it can get Pokemon, if it can get her, it can get us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty privilege doesn't even save you in.
No, from a hurricane, no.
So I find it kind of wild that we live in Seattle, and when the hurricane was flooding everybody's basements, our basement was also flooding. Same day. Same day. So
Yep.
that was kind of interesting. That was a quirky thing.
Okay, so maybe since you guys were in Florida for an extended period of time, your souls merged with it a tiny bit to where sometimes things that happen there affect you guys.
Yep.
You know?
I think quantum physics might be on your side with that one.
Yeah, Einsteinian isotope.
I have a feeling quantum physics is on your side.
With that theory. That it was kind of crazy because also Ian's horoscope specifically for that day, I'm not kidding you, like a week before that day, that specific date, there was this horoscope and a bunch of like astrologers that I follow were like avoid water at all costs. Like, and they were saying things like could be as something like, you know, leaky faucet, could be like, you know, you like fall into a body of water, whatever, just avoid water because it's not going to be a good time for you on this day. And then the basement flooded.
I couldn't avoid the water. The water came for me.
Yeah, the water.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, what the hell? They're cursing you.
Yeah, that's the thing you need to know about astrology is a lot of it, if you think it bullshit, don't think it bullshit because it's just fucking, it's not for you to avoid catastrophe. Mm-hmm. It's there to say it's going to happen, whether you like it or not. Yeah. Big boy.
You just accept it.
Yeah.
You don't even know what it means half the time, then it happens.
Yeah, I didn't know it meant my house is going to jack off on me. In my basement.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, other than that, it's been really great for us. Life's been great. Yep. So the flooding basement really didn't bother us too much. No.
Which is kind of cool. It's kind of cool that we're in the era now where it's like, I'm like happy that our basement flooded. Yeah. And I'm happy that I slipped a disc during my morning workout.
Oh, I guess we didn't really talk about that.
Yeah, you didn't mention that yet.
A disc?
Yeah, we haven't talked about your slip.
You talked about it with me off pod.
Yeah. Okay.
But you didn't actually say
okay, guys. I didn't slip a disc. At least that's not what Anise is saying.
No, I don't think
that.
I don't think you did that.
It's just fun. It feels right to say, you know how you hear about like a disease and you're like, that feels like what I have. Even though you don't know the science around it, that's what this feels like. It feels like I didn't break my disc in half. It feels like I just slipped it a little bit.
You didn't. It's not even your disc area that hurts.
It's not even my disc area. It's a pinched nerve in my lower back. It's making it very hard to stand up and move around.
It's definitely the sciatic nerve. It's like on the back hip, like lower part. It's not on your spine.
Yeah, my PT, because I've had something similar before, if not the same thing. My PT advised me, and for those not in the know, that stands for physical therapist. Mm-hmm. Oh, I just fucking heard it just by moving my arm.
The Australians and Canadians call it a physio.
Physio. Did you go to physio?
Physio.
Cringe. Sorry. They also call the pharmacist the chemist.
Not Canadians.
Although that shit's cool to call it the chemist because that makes it sound like, it reminds you like, oh yeah, this is drugs. Mm. You know?
You know, you're talking to an American versus a Canadian? Whether or not they say, I went to uni or I went to college.
Yeah, and I also have another very subtle one that I don't know if I brought it up on the podcast before, but I'm trying to think of a good use of it that would make sense. Are you done your cereal?
Yes. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Just like completely removing the width.
Oh, I thought you were giving the normal example.
Yeah. No, I would say
You're right.
as an American.
As an
are you
American.
done with your cereal? Have you finished?
you
You could say, depending on the context, have you finished your homework, or have you finished? No, because you would always have like a qualifier before it.
Do you know what's crazy about that? For some reason in my brain, you adding the with makes it rude or hostile.
Oh.
Like,
That's interesting.
are you finished with your cereal? Is for some reason in my brain more hostile,
aggressive sounding thing
than like, are you finished your cereal?
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah, it's an extra word that you don't need.
Yeah.
That
It's
could
like
be construed.
adding a period at the end of a
Yeah.
text. Like,
Yeah.
some people do that, but you can read it.
It's the same thing. I wonder if it has an actual name, because it's the same like effect of saying a child's full name when they're in trouble. That type of shit.
Yeah, adding the extra effort. Anyways, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to derail you. You hurt your back probably from lifting on Wednesday.
Yeah, last Wednesday.
Yeah, no, this
Or
Wednesday.
this Wednesday. Yeah, true.
From probably just deadlifting a little bit too zealous.
Yeah, I was telling Anissa that I think I was daydreaming while deadlifting, which, that's just my thing. That's my problem. I need to work on it.
Sounds like a metal band.
Yeah.
Daydreaming while deadlifting.
I just want to be productive, and like it just feels so unproductive. I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm not scheming. I got to scheme.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like work on a scheme while I'm like deadlifting. My head's in the fucking clouds and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
And I fucking
But
pinch a nerve.
Yeah, it seems like a pinched nerve. And then when we were walking back from the gym today, we finished the gym early because you're back.
Yeah, it was kaputs.
Yeah, and then you sneezed.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, so we were getting ready to cross the street. We were waiting for the signal to change, and I have the photic sneeze reflex, so I like to initiate a sneeze. So sometimes I look up at lights like these ones. They're pretty bright. And that's enough a lot of the time. If I'm like right on the edge, right on the cusp, it'll send it. I fucking went for it, and I fucking sneezed, and that shit rattled my whole body to my core, and I was fucking frozen, and it hurt so bad. And I was just like, fuck, what do I do? We were like at the farmer's market. There's all these people around, and I'm like, okay, just breathe. And I'm just like trying to get through it, and he's just like looking at me. I look like I'm shitting my pants or something. I don't know.
I was just really worried that like you were at the point where like you couldn't move anymore.
Yeah.
And I was trying to like
it was bad.
problem solve.
Fuck.
So you sneezed and made it worse. Dane coughed and pulled his side.
I did.
Yeah. So we're all. It's just being 30.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much just old fucks.
Bunch of old people sneezing and coughing and throwing their backs out. That's
Sneezing, throwing our backs out, wanting to buy classic cool cars. We're okay.
True.
Oh God.
Talking about flooding basements, and
I also recently had a bout of like nostalgia, like flare up.
Oh.
You ever have a nostalgia flare up where you're like, oh, like I have adult money. I could buy things that I had when I was a kid or that I wanted when I was a kid.
Every time I like see Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Every time.
I'm trying to think
Beyblades too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was this one, I was telling Anissa about it. It was a Transformer. It wasn't Starscream. I think it was one of the Decepticons. I had this fucking cool-ass Transformer as a kid. And it had like... It fucking shot missiles out, and man, the guns on that were sick.
Wait,
it had good springs to them.
They
shot hard and fast.
As soon as you said that, I actually know exactly what you're talking about. I had the same toy, and I fucking loved it. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it had 2 cannons on its shoulders.
There's so many toys like that, though.
No, but it was a Transformer. Gray cannons.
No.
Oh.
Well, maybe.
Gray cannons and the gray
what color was the
sphere?
body?
I can't remember that.
Yeah. Well,
I was just fascinated by the cannon
cannons.
mechanics.
I'm always fascinated by cannons.
Maybe blue?
So cannons is a slur for tits, right? Not a slur, but
Slur?
I'm sorry, like not a slur, a vulgar word.
Well, it's
I thought it
just
was
like
cans.
Check out those cannons.
yeah, I think Dane's right. It's cans.
Is it?
Cans is a more objectifying. Cannons, I think, is also used,
Okay.
but cans is the more like objectifying, derogatory term. Like in the same way that some men call women's asses poopers, which I've learned is like only the worst men. I like.
Yeah.
If you're a man who uses the word pooper and you're not a piece of shit, good for you. But the track record for me of men who use the word pooper and being a piece of shit is like a complete circle.
Oh, same for me as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, but if you're a nice guy who uses, well, maybe nice guy isn't the right word.
If you're a nice guy who uses the term pooper.
If you're a normal human being and you describe women's asses as poopers, then, fight the good fight, I guess.
It's just a little too close to home. Not too close to home. What's the word I'm trying to say? It's a little too close to the shitting hole.
It's a little, there's like objectifying
cute.
and then there's dehumanizing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Interesting.
Like objectifying is inherently dehumanizing, but the vulgarity of like dismantling it down to its parts of like what it mainly does.
It makes poop.
It's like you're not even. There's like no humanity left in that description at all.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like another level of like.
Yeah.
At least like when you're calling someone like.
I slapped her right in the part of her body that makes poop.
Yeah, like that's like you can't get more removed from humanity than that.
The machine that turns food into poop.
Yeah. That's what it is for me. I don't know. But, I'd rather talk to somebody who refers to women's tits as cans than somebody who refers to a woman's ass as a pooper.
What about big sloppers?
Sloppers.
I've met some really nice guys that just they really like using that term.
What?
Yeah, sloppers.
I thought Dane just invented that.
No, there's
no. I've heard that
what?
before.
Yeah.
Sloppers.
Yeah.
What's slopping?
Tits.
Yeah. What's
the big sloppy tits?
Yeah.
Sloppy
You ever heard of
tits?
some big slop.
Jesus.
Ian,
After you've been slobbering on him or something?
Yeah, see.
I don't get it.
Ian's so removed from a lot of like I don't know how to put it, like just vulgar like dude culture.
No, I know what a golden shower is.
That's more of like an internet thing than like if you were around like a bunch of like men who like
Oh, true.
They
have their own little private things to say that are all
Yeah.
on Urban Dictionary.
like check out her sloppers.
Ew.
I slap them around. They talk like that.
I'd slap around her sloppers.
There is a weird account on TikTok where it ends all of its like weird like AI shit. I don't know if it's AI, but it's crazy looking. But it ends by him saying, "UndertimeSlopper."
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck's UndertimeSlopper? I
yeah.
have no idea what that is.
I don't like a blowjob.
I don't know. I think that's just the name of the account, but I'm like wondering what the origin of that is. It might be a tit.
I need. This is for me, right? The types of conversations I used to hear in the dressing room, like when people talk about locker room talk. There was this guy who really loved his partner. Okay, like in quotations, obviously, because the discussion he was having was like whether or not he could handle being with one woman for the rest of her life, for the rest of his life. Sorry, and the guys were trying to be like good guys by saying like her hole's the same as every other hole. Literally, that was the conversation. Your hole's the same as every other hole.
Think about what's attached to the hole, bro.
Like,
think about it.
There are some people out there that is their. So those are the people who are saying sloppers and poopers.
Okay, I found the slopper account I was talking about. I'll like put the video over top of this so that people aren't feeling like
Left out.
left out. But yeah, here it is.
Doctor told me I could only have one cookie a day. Well, don't mind if I dilly do.
Uncle, you're gonna die if you eat that.
Are you telling me not to listen to the doctor?
I love UndertimeSlopper.
Doctor told me I...
Underline slopper? No, it's undertime. Anyway.
Sounds like a bunch of hockey slang. I don't know.
It's a very
Sounds like a
weird
bunch of
account.
hullabaloo.
Yeah.
It literally is hullabaloo. A whole lot of baloo. The bear.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's hullabaloo? What is that?
Hullabaloo? I don't know.
Okay, well, don't say
it's
things
kinda like,
you don't know. Don't say things you don't know.
No. I'm saying that I'm pretty sure that it's similar to something like hogwalloper.
Oh, hogwash.
I
Hogwash.
like hogwalloper.
That sounds like somebody's like gay stage name, and they just like jack off at a sex show. I'm the hogwalloper, and they come out and they're like, "Yee, time to hogwallop."
Oh God, that's awesome.
And the crowd chants, "Wallop that hog!
Yeah.
Wallop that hog!"
Yeah, like I'm telling you, that's an Amsterdam sex show stage name for sure. The hogwalloper.
The hogwalloper.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Welcome the
I could do
hogwalloper.
that.
Yeah.
Your strange friend who's always there like twice a year brings you there and be like, "You got to come see the hogwalloper." Not a lot of people see that's all the touristy stuff.
Yeah.
No one ever takes you to see the hogwalloper though.
And okay, here's the hogwalloper. He wears like, you know, those like leather dog masks that are like a very,
yeah.
but it's like a pig, like a pink leather pig mask. And he comes out in that and like tight, like little leather panties.
Ew.
And like, he's like, I'm the hogwalloper.
Yucky.
Yucky. I was with you until you said panties. I thought you were going to say pants. Ew.
What, you don't like leather panties?
Panties? Ew.
Oh, is that like your moist word?
No.
I thought my mom hates the word panties.
Really?
Yeah. You know what she used to say?
Okay, the reason I was doing that bit though
Yeah.
is like the creator that we
Oh,
watch.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, hates panties. No, my mom hates the word panties. She used the word ginch, which I think is way worse.
What
And
is a ginch?
It's underwear. It's a word for underwear. I swear
I've
to
never
God.
heard that before.
And she used to like, I was like, every time she'd use it, I'd be like, "Oh, Mom, what the fuck?" And one time I was coming out of the hockey arena. I had my bag on. I didn't know my underwear was hanging out of the fucking bag. I'm already embarrassed. My mom goes, "Hey, your ginch is hanging out." Made it a million times worse.
That's that doesn't sound right.
This is interesting. When I was thinking of the word panties, I'm like, it feels like that word is a victim.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel like panties are ever strong, brave, bold. Panties are always a victim.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm thinking, like, maybe we just get rid of panties.
Yeah. And replace it with ginch.
Well, no, and just say the thong. Everything's a thong.
Well, but everything's not a thong.
But it's fine. It doesn't matter. You just call it a thong.
You just want colloquially.
Yeah, it's just a little bit harder, and it's just like, fucking, don't get your thong in a twist.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
Wear the thong.
It's stronger.
Yeah.
I feel like a thong is a stronger.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, I think I would feel more comfortable wearing a thong over panties.
Well, but all thongs are panties, but not all panties are thongs.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
I'm just saying, you are technically wearing panties when you're wearing a thong.
Don't say that.
You are technically wearing panties when you're wearing a thong.
Okay.
Well,
we're
I
not
guess
gonna
you're
say
gonna
that.
miss
We're
out
throwing
on
that away.
the. I guess you're gonna miss out on the panty raid.
Yeah.
Oh, the SpongeBob panty
I
raid.
guess you're gonna miss out on the panty raid.
They got rid of that episode.
Yeah.
That shit is so fucking. When it came out, it was weird.
It was
weird.
weird.
Like SpongeBob knows what panties are. They have panties and bikini bottom.
Did you?
I have that
episode.
I have that episode on Blu-ray
Whoa.
That's awesome.
or DVD. I mean, so I'm the only one who owns that episode. Nobody else.
Oh my god, the one SpongeBob panty episode to rule
Dude,
them all.
I can't wait for like 50 years when someone's doing a video, a docu video on the SpongeBob panty episode.
Yeah.
But it's only
I bet you
rumors.
there's already a fucking 2-hour long video about it.
Oh no, but it's so much
YouTube.
better in 50 years from now because they're going to hear about you. They're going to be like, oh, I watched this old shitty podcast, and there's this guy with a red beard who
fucking
had
idiot.
it.
Yeah.
And so I tracked him down, or I tracked where he lived down.
And it's just the oldest Dane that ever lived. Like, Dane, you open the door and your beard is like to the floor.
Yeah.
And you're like hunched and like you don't want to let him in at all.
Yeah, they have to go through a lot of hijinks to earn your trust.
Yeah. You don't want to share.
No, you can't have my panty raid episode.
Yeah. That's what you'll say.
Just because you're a young whippersnapper who found out about lost media, and we live, and in the future, and now we live in a society where nobody owns anything.
Yeah. And everything's on
No, but you're super paranoid that they want your SpongeBob episode because you think they really want to jack off to it.
Oh yeah, you're really paranoid that they're gonna like jack off to it and like maybe ruin it. Yeah.
So I have to put them through a bunch of tests. I have to show them panties and see if they get a boner.
Yeah, you have to poke them. No, I actually think you would become violent. I think you would like fucking attack them. They would, like,
I'm 90 years old in this situation.
Yeah, and you're like really hostile, kind of like you know those like scenes from nature docs when the trapdoor spider like comes really fast out of his hole and like does a little like meme and then runs back in? That'd be Dane. Like you open the door and they're like, oh my god, we're getting in, and then you just fucking like shove them and you shut the door and it's just this like back and forth trying to get the panty. Man, I wish that was true. I wish that comes to fruition.
Yeah, in 50 years, that would be awesome. That'd be truly awesome.
Praying for that.
Yeah, praying that Dane is truly ancient.
It becomes a crotchety old man. I'm praying for you, Dane. No, you don't.
I'm not living that long. There's no way.
Yeah. Well,
I'm living long enough to become the biggest bitch.
Fat?
No, not fat. Just, well, I might be fat. Who knows?
You're just gonna be mean as shit.
I'm gonna be mean as shit.
Yeah. Well, we'll
really
see.
Nasty, for sure. I'm already there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I've noticed you've gotten your panties in a bunch.
Oh. You better not raid them.
Thong and a twist.
Ian.
You know that.
That's what we're saying.
You know that that saying is fucking weird.
Yeah, panties in a bunch is a weird. Really don't like that one.
No.
But yeah, so I guess that's man. We don't really have anything else to catch up people on.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's loads of things. It's just like this shit is a lot like therapy, where you try to say what's fucking relevant in your mind at the time, and then by the end of it, you're like, oh wait, I completely forgot about this really important thing.
I will say I have my finally have my follow up with my psychiatrist because I've been on my medication for 6 weeks. Actually, it's been like 8.
Yeah. And that's very good.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
So one of the things that we should talk about a little bit, we talked about it, I think, quite a bit in the bog, but Anissa and I did end up watching a show. It wasn't a recommendation.
Sorry, Dan.
Sorry.
It wasn't. It's my mom's fault. It's my mom's fault because she got me watching it.
Yeah.
And
what we're talking about is the Rings of Power on Amazon.
Oh, right. Well, at least I've seen that too. So.
Yeah, exactly. So we watched it to completion. We're good now. We're caught up. The topic ahead is going to be about the Rings of Power on Amazon, and we're just going to spoil shit, just FYI. Dane was telling us on the bog, he was like, yeah, you're not going to know that old fucker's name for a while. Who that is.
I knew as soon as he fell out of the fucking sky.
She did.
Yeah, I know, but they just don't. They tease it.
Oh my god. Okay, Dane, you know the joke I did in the bog where I was like, I want them to have a scene where they say, I'm Gaunt, I'm a Gaunt Elf.
Remember when I said yeah? Yeah, remember when I said yeah? Yes. You'll be pleasantly surprised because that literally happens, which is the most insane thing.
Yeah.
That you not only that you said that, but also that it just happened.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
Is that at all canon or fucking biblically accurate?
I don't think so. I mean, I've never heard that before, and I feel like I'm pretty familiar
You're a grand
with. So.
elf. You're a great elf.
Thank you,
You're a grand elf. You're kind of like a Gandalf.
Yeah.
I do not like that. I do not like that.
I will say,
Be careful
though,
what you wish for. You said you wanted that.
Yeah, that's true. Your fault. You wished it. I will say, I did like his story.
Right, his arc.
Yeah, because like I knew as soon as he fell out of the sky, I was like, oh, I actually finally understand why he had so much trust in these little fucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Little hobbit fuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, all of that made sense. It was kind of fun to like piece that together as we were watching it. It was a little bit boring. I wish we would have gotten a little bit more interesting action with the Grand Elf and the Hobbitans. Because I think it was just totally... That shit was outshined, I think, by the orcs and the dwarves.
I have to say something brave and bold, though.
Okay.
I'm sick and tired of nighttime fight scenes. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Here's the thing. You can do those very well. And in fact, a very good comparison would be the Peter Jackson trilogy. There's an entire, 45-minute battle in the second movie that takes place at night. And you can very clearly see everything because they just put lights up.
Yeah.
And I think that now people who make these things expect that people will complain that it's not realistic if there's a light.
Yeah.
And so now it's like everything's completely dark and you can't see shit.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
It's so annoying. It's so annoying. There's this really funny story about the making of that scene from the Peter Jackson trilogies in particular, where he had these giant lights up at night.
Yeah.
Shining so that you could see what's happening. And it's like raining in the scene. So obviously there's clouds. So there's no moon. And somebody on the set was like, Peter Jackson, where's the light coming from? And he said, it's the same place that the music's coming from.
I love that. I fucking love that. That is the answer. It's like, just let me...
Such a badass response.
It reminds me of I can't get down with Christopher Nolan on Tenet or whatever. I don't know if he was hung up on sound design being confusing and real. I don't know what the fuck was his issue with Tenet, but he totally lost me on that one for the same I think it's they want it to be more realistic, or I'm not sure what's going on, but it pisses me off.
It's a movie. There's nothing realistic about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're recording.
We're seeing all the action from the POV of some entity.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense already.
Yeah.
So just make it make sense.
Yeah, please make it enjoyable for my eyes.
Lubricate
and ears.
it for me, please.
Oh yeah, lubricate
Yeah.
it. I like that.
Yeah. I really like that explanation. That's great.
Love Elrond to the very end.
Yes.
Love Doran to the very end. Those are my two ride or dies. I want to see...
The show should have just been about those two. I don't know why they had to throw all this other shit in there.
Yeah. I want to see them be best friends. I want, give me, 7 seasons of those two.
Right.
Freaking hanging out.
And it'd be more like Friends.
Yeah.
The show.
That would be
where
cool.
it's just this
where he's
sitcom.
Chandler.
Yeah.
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 Durin is Chandler and Elrond is Ross.
Don't give Elrond Ross. That's so evil. Ross is more oh man, who would Ross be?
It might be a different type of comedy, actually, because I see it being either Durin is in elf territory or Elrond is in dwarf territory, and then there's
Elrond
a little bit of
elf.
a racial tensions.
Elrond in dwarf territory is what should be.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And it could be like Big Bang.
Oh.
And Elrond can be Sheldon.
Right.
No, Elrond is Rachel, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah,
He's Rachel.
Elrond is Rachel.
Yeah.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll make it. We'll pitch it to Netflix. Amazon. Amazon.
Amazon owns it all now.
Yeah.
So.
Damn it.
Yeah, I think the show was good. I think for me it was 7 out of 10. I definitely enjoyed it thoroughly.
I'm not gonna lie, for me it was not. It's gonna sound crazy, but 9 out of 10.
Wow.
But I love
That
Peter
world.
Tolkien's world, or not Peter Tolkien, or is that his name? Tolkien,
No.
Tolkien, J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yep.
Nice.
Tolkien.
I love his world. Like, I love everything that he's built. I think that, like, that world, if I could live anywhere, it would be there. So, like, anytime I get to participate in it,
I need to learn more about the world specifically, because that whole thing where, like, the elves were going back on, like, a boat to the motherland, I was like, are they going to heaven? Where the fuck are they going? Is there another land aside from Middle Earth? Clearly.
There is,
It is essentially heaven, yeah.
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 It's like they live
It's called the
eternally.
Undying Lands.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and that's where she was going back. She was going to go back to, like...
So, this is interesting to me, because now I'm thinking, like, World of Warcraft terms. I'm like, how do you get to that area? Can I drink a potion of water walking and get out there?
You get on a one-way boat.
Hit me?
Yeah, you got to get on a one-way boat.
A one-way boat. So if someone's stowed away, like a hobbit stored away on one of their boats, they could make it to the Undying Land and get out of
you don't have to stow away on it. Frodo literally gets on the boat willingly at the end of the Return of the King. You don't remember that?
I don't remember that.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
He gets pierced by a Morgul blade, which is a funny name for a sword. Which makes him have, like, basically a permanent open wound that pains him. It's supposed to represent trauma that you can't get over. And so he goes to the Undying Lands, which is where his wound can actually heal and not pain him so much.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So.
I'd go there if I was in Middle Earth.
Yeah, well, you got to be a ring bearer to do that. Or you got to be gay with.
What are they gonna stop me?
You have to be gay with your friend to get to the
elves are stuck up. I mean, look at the elves. They are very stuck up, and they say you're not worthy enough to go to our secret island where you die.
But you have to be gay.
So I only say that because in the appendices it said that Legolas brings Gimli with him, which I'm like, gay. He brought his gay lover with him.
Oh, that's
because dwarves usually don't go. Yeah,
I do love that elves and dwarves do have this cute little, like,
cats and dogs.
It's sweet.
I
do love that. We should read. Aw. We should have a little book club. We should all read all the freaking Lord of the Rings and have a little book club.
I would love that. I honestly would love that because I've been meaning to read them. I have them physically on a shelf, and I just haven't read them.
Oh, let's all do a book club.
Do you think that would be a good one to do it with?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Let's start. Okay, how about this? How about this? We start with The Hobbit, because that's a children's book. So I feel like it might be easier for us non-readers to start with, and it gives us an idea of that world pretty
I think once you get into reading,
you cook.
Yeah. I think so.
It is kind of like riding a bike.
I think you'll be surprised how, like, into it you get.
Well,
especially if you
here's the
take
thing:
Adderall.
is that I have heard that Lord of the Rings is not necessarily an easy book to read.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't tried reading on Adderall.
That's what I'm saying. I think if you took Adderall, I think you would like it. Probably.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's such
you
a
could
good
read
point.
The Hobbit in about 4 hours if you just focused.
Wow. That's
My
crazy.
sister was such a fucking psycho. She would, like, take a book, like a huge thick book, and I'd be like, man, that's gonna take her like months to read. A night.
Yeah.
She would read that shit in a night.
My sister was the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that big fucking the biggest of the Harry Potter books, the Goblet.
One night.
I was like, what the hell?
I know.
That's a damn fucking big old Bible.
I know.
Why are you reading that like that?
A whole.
No, I remember doing that. I remember doing that myself.
Oh, you're just sick.
But I was a huge fan of those books. So, like,
me too.
Basically, I would go to Borders and literally I would read the entire book, like, the next day, basically, because I would go to the midnight opening and I'd read the whole book, like, basically just sit in my bed for 9 hours and read it.
Man, reading is so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Realizing that you can get all them pictures in your head and shit. That's so cool.
Damn, that's fucking crazy how you can have, like, pictures in your head and shit.
I think we should do that. You should try with Adderall reading and see how that.
Man.
I'd say that if we're going to do Lord of the Rings, we should 100% start with The Hobbit, though, because it is an easier book to read, and it is shorter by a long shot, and it's
Okay.
also chronologically the first book. He wrote The Hobbit like 20 years before The Lord of the Rings.
Right.
So
I feel like, okay, me and Ian have been fantasizing about getting on a train that like goes across America, or like, you know,
Polar
like
Express.
like a fun, no, not Polar Express. I mean, like Polar Express. But we could take books on there and like read and like.
Could we take Bullet?
No, we can't take Bullet, Ian. Bullet can't come. I don't even think Bullet could fit in
Can we take Muscle?
No, we can't take Muscle either. I don't think either.
can we take Frungus?
Ian's code names for Fiona and Merlin is Bullet and Muscle.
I like code names. Like, we
Yeah.
need to keep them a secret for certain people.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll get doxxed or something.
Code names. Yeah, Merlin's code name is Muscle.
Yeah, which is perfect.
Yeah, Ian made some. He wanted.
So anti their personalities
Yeah,
as well.
I know.
Like, bro's just like a limp sack of shit. Like,
wanna
he's
call,
nothing about him is a muscle.
I'll call the other one Gimli.
Oh, I did. I'm kind of sad we didn't name him Gimli because I do think he is so dwarf-like.
Well, now that you're giving your dogs multiple names, you could just call him Gimli. It's whatever.
True.
Yeah, true. Just start calling him Gimli.
Yeah. What would be the black one? What would she be called?
She would be called Orc.
Ura. Oh, Adar.
Oh, Adar.
No, that sucks.
He was kind of nice.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to think of something a little bit more.
I say
Adar?
as he like slit the throat
Yeah.
of his own fucking men and
Yeah.
fucking killed kids and
Yeah.
shit. No, he wasn't nice. I'm sorry. That was fucked up for me to say. I think I just remember him when he like fucking was like, "Oh, I can fix things. I shouldn't be."
We can team up.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll leave this place.
You know, I'm a sucker for someone saying
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Oh.
man. Also, Elrond kissing Galadriel was pretty cringe because that's literally his mother-in-law.
Huh?
I
Elrond-
said
Elrond
something
ma-
like that at the time. I was like, ew, that's his sister.
I thought Ian was just joking.
No. I don't think they're blood related, but it's
Yeah.
still strange.
Yeah, it's a
because
weird
she's-
relationship.
I believe the relationship, the family tree thing, is that Elrond marries her daughter.
Well, don't project your fucking American culture onto them, all right? They're elves. They're millions of years old.
I just thought it was strange because, like, even if they weren't sort of family tree related, which makes it strange, they didn't have any sort of romantic chemistry, so it wasn't like a satisfying, like, ooh,
Yeah, I agree. I was
ooh,
confused.
they kiss. I was just like, that's weird.
right. Like, it's been building or anything.
There was more.
No, it hasn't been building.
There was more sexual tension between Sauron and her than Elrond and
Right.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They should have kissed.
True.
That made more
that
sense.
that
to
would
me.
have that would have pissed so many people off.
Yeah. That means even more should have happened. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Oh, Dane, I'm curious what you... well, let me first ask. Have you watched Game of Thrones?
So I watched the first season and I didn't continue because I wasn't interested. But I have seen like some of it.
Yeah. I was
And it's such a cultural like mainstay that I know basically what happens just through osmosis.
Okay.
So that's my familiarity with it.
Okay. Well, I think I got this idea first from reading some like reviews and stuff of Rings of Power. But it was mainly like the consensus being like, yeah, like it's not a bad show, but like Game of Thrones has like made people like I think it was the Peter Jackson movies and Game of Thrones have made people like expect a lot more out of something like this.
Yes.
And I agree to an extent, but I also think that Game of Thrones specifically, I think did things that like really put you on edge, and in a lot of cases we like came to this conclusion were like unrealistic.
Yeah, unrealistically so.
Just
Yes.
to kind of get a reaction. And because there wasn't that much going on, that as much Game of Thrones type shit going on, where like a good example of this is when Elrond is in the little like meeting with Adar in the like kind of orc encampment, and they have Galadriel like strung up and shit, or in a cage. I was a little bit uneasy because I was like, oh fuck, if this is Game of Thrones, they just fucking kill Elrond right here, because there's like so much like, this is war, things are cut, people are evil, people are cutthroat. If there's like a advantageous opportunity to kill someone who's your enemy, like why wouldn't you take it, kind of thing. And that isn't what happened. You know, he got out of there, it was all fine and dandy. And I just think that was like, I think that's probably another reason why people feel like it doesn't like hit as hard, is because you just have stories playing out as they were intended to play out, rather than to give you a moment, like a shocking moment in an episode.
I think Game of Thrones, if I'm being honest, is like if you took a soap opera and mixed it with
interesting.
With like a like
Middle-earthian.
Yeah, it's like
vibe.
a soap opera meets Lord of the Rings, like mixed together, where the things are just so ridiculous and like whiplashy that it's like
kind of what happens in soap operas.
Oh yeah, it's like, what? The clone of you have a twin and they murdered you and I accidentally married your twin.
Oh.
My true lover is dead.
Oh.
So and so came out of a coma. Like, just like,
Interesting.
bunch of like cliffhangers and
Oh.
commercial break
Over-dramatic.
cuts and stuff.
Yeah.
Did they ever pay? Did those soap opera? Because it's not even like, is there a soap opera that like pioneered this and it like actually paid off at the end? Where it was like, that was just such an awesome.
I don't think that they ever pay off. I
experience.
think it's just kind of like you put it on
It just keeps going.
and it just keeps going. It keeps going forever and ever.
Wow.
Yeah. The so that's kind of I'm going to be honest, and like I know this probably isn't a very popular take, but like I actually enjoyed Rings of Power way more than I enjoyed Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Game of Thrones
So-
just felt a bit fucking, I don't know, depressing.
So I think Game of Thrones. You're right that Game of Thrones does have that like we got to hook people with stuff, and maybe people who have watched Game of Thrones who have never seen a Lord of the Rings property or have a very passing familiarity with the movies or something or things of that nature. Like, I think you're right that if they're expecting that from a fantasy show, then they're definitely not going to get it from a Lord of the Rings show, whether they force it into it or not, because that's just not Tolkien's story.
Yeah.
What Tolkien's story has always done for me, which I wanted from this show, was two things, which is sincerity, which you don't get in something like Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is very much like
The
brutal
opposite.
and like kind of the opposite of sincere
It's
like hope and love and things like that. And then the
Yeah.
second thing
Wait.
that
No, you can finish yours and then I'll ask. So.
Oh no, but I just wanted to bring up the second thing that I would expect from Lord of the Rings show that you wouldn't see in something like Game of Thrones is a grand epic scale.
Yeah.
Because the world is so fleshed out that you can very easily make it epic in like the non-ironic use of the word epic. Like those movies are so good at doing that because they show everything. Like people always joke like that it's like a tourism board ad for New Zealand because they do so many wide sweeping shots of the landscapes, and they do these big wide shots of battles with thousands, millions of participants. Those two things I did not get from that show, which is why I'm disappointed by it. But it's not because I didn't get the things that I would expect from a Game of Thrones, because Game of Thrones wasn't epic. It was a pretty small scale, and it didn't really have a whole lot of sincerity or hope to it at all. It was very dour.
Yeah.
So
That's interesting. I like the detail. I think I really relate to the detail of it being like the Peter Jackson ones being grand and as you say, epic. I'm not sure why you said epic.
No,
It's
epic
so
is the
cringe.
correct.
No, I'm saying
I also feel like part of what makes it feel ironically grand and epic is that it is a closed circuit. It's been finished. Whereas like Game of Thrones was never finished. And it was like kind of loose.
Right.
But I also really agree with Dane, and I think this is kind of like where the reason why I ultimately enjoy the Game of Thrones like universe more is like it seems like Tolkien was coming from a place of like people are inherently good and everything that happens comes from a place of care and good intention, basically for the most part, and everybody is just trying to fight what they think is right and like pull themselves up basically and bring how many they can up with them. Whereas like Game of Thrones felt like it was like human beings are shitty and we all hate each other and power rules everything.
Very true, yeah.
And I just don't.
Everyone just wants to get on the throne.
Yeah.
How are you going to get there?
Yeah. It's just a little bit less like
Yeah.
optimistic of human spirit. So I do agree with that. I think that's like a big one actually for me. And I do think that it's more realistic because of that. Like I was explaining to Ian, like these like random killings or like I really believe, especially the more life that I live, that like even the most evil shit that happens that people do, if they can't logic it out for themselves, no matter how deranged of like a logic it is, they will not do it. They do it because they
have
justified
logicked it out,
and they've
right.
logicked it out, and then they do it. People don't just randomly do shit if they can't justify it.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the times in Game of Thrones, it almost did feel like it was just like random.
Yeah.
It wasn't
it
as-
was to create a more like, it was for the experience of the viewer
Yeah.
to make it a little bit more unexpected,
Yeah.
shocking, torturous,
Yeah.
whatever else.
So I don't know. Like, you know, there's obviously the rare like sadistic psychopath who really is just totally void of like
Yeah.
whatever, but that's not the norm. Clearly.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know. I feel like Lord of the Rings is more realistic where it's like a lot of the hurdles and things that people overcome is like trying to choose between what they personally and emotionally feel is right versus what like their worldview is kind of, which I like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I was, I fucking called Mithril when they got to it. I was
yeah, he
like-
did. I didn't know
like-
he knew what that was.
Like, that's fucking Mithril.
How
And
the-
I was just like,
I didn't know. I was like,
I
what
had
the fuck?
no idea. I was like, there's no way fucking Mithril is like lighter than fucking steel and better in all these ways. I'm like, it's not that fucking magical. Like, I get that shit in WoW all the time. That's like low tier.
I was
And then
so
they were like, oh,
confused.
it's Masariala. And I was like, Masariala? That's probably Mithril.
They literally call it Mithril.
Eventually, yeah.
Oh.
He first starts by giving it I think the Elvish name
Oh.
or the Dwarven name, one of the two.
I didn't know that. But yeah, when Ian said that, I looked down, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, you know what this is? And he's like, yeah, I get it in WoW all the time. The whole time we were watching it, he was like, WoW really ripped off all of this shit.
Yeah. Well, I realized that this is a perfect example. Well, I shouldn't say perfect. It seems like, Dane, one of your like complaints about like one of the things that you understand why it exists, but you kind of hate it is like copyright law and all that kind of stuff with like taking people's and iterating on things. And I was like, the Tolkien universe and it kind of getting thrown back, ping pong back and forth between like World of Warcraft and now like Prime. I'm realizing specifically with certain things, like I feel like with the dwarves specifically, it's very obvious that like they don't know, like in Tolkien's universe, or maybe Peter Jackson would be a good example. He didn't really depict any women dwarves, as far as I recall. And when it went to World of Warcraft, it was like, well, we have to have a female character model. So we're going to do this. And we have to make some creative choices in how they're being depicted. And so they had to have like a bit of a Scottish kind of fucking braids and like a particular look. And now it gets ping-ponged back to
Amazon.
And I'm seeing them. I'm like, this is fucking straight ripped from the Warcraft interpretation of female dwarves, and I guess like a lot of that culture in World of Warcraft. and I just find it fascinating and like kind of like mutually beneficial that like they're landing on what this like kind of missing piece could be or what it could seem like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting how, but that's art, you know. I mean, that is what art is. It's just like constantly reiterating and solving problems and ping ponging and commenting on things. And yeah, I mean, it's difficult because copyright is definitely because capital is so important to art now. But back in the day when like people, you didn't really make money off of like art. It was cool that it was kind of the Wild West, and you could like kind of almost like one for one copy something, but make it a little bit different, and then just have things like kind of go off of there.
Yeah, I like thinking about how Blizzard came up with some of their ideas for like some of these like obscure creatures. You're like, some of them are like, oh, that's like very obvious from Lord of the Rings, but then some of them, like the guys with the candles on their heads.
Oh yeah,
that is like some deep like human lore. I forget what it is specifically, but some fairy related or something.
No, I think that so golems come from Jewish lore,
right?
And I'm pretty sure the little candle head guys, I could be wrong. I know for sure golems are.
Yeah.
Because one of my viewers, Raptor, was explaining that the golems are from Jewish lore. But I think the candle head guys...
I'll have to look into it. But it is something IRL.
Yeah, it is like IRL
the reference.
lore. It's either from
Well,
like...
it says on here that golem evolves from grappler.
I was wrong. I was wrong.
Dane, you got to use ChatGPT. What's wrong with you?
I do like, though, that they use Jewish lore for like stuff, because I feel like we got so dependent on Greek and Roman mythology. Like, it got really boring. And there is like so many other like places around the world that you can grab lore from. So I am glad that they,
Well, Google AI says... Kobolds are small, mischievous creatures from Germanic folklore that are based on a number of sources, including Greek myth. The name kobold may come from the Greek word kobolai. Middle German, the word kobold may come from the Middle German word kobe, which
Kobe
means
beef?
cave, and the suffix "olt," which refers to supernatural creature. I like that one.
That's cool. So it's ancient.
Yeah, and I think they just kind of iterated on it a little bit, where they're like, let's take this, like, there's a couple other explanations as well, with candles and stuff, or waxen figures. Yeah, it says, in Middle High German, kobold refers to wooden or waxen figures of a house spirit.
Oh.
So.
It seemed European to me.
Yeah.
Like little mischievous guys with little candles on their heads feels very European. In the same way, like little trolls that like live in like trunks of trees seems
this is cool. It says, in Germanic folklore, kobolds could take many forms, including tiny humanoids, animals, flames, or even invisibility. They lived in homes, mines, and on ships. And it's cool because that's, I think, largely where you're going to see them in World of Warcraft.
Yeah. I love that we're pulling from more other than Greek mythology.
Yeah. Cool.
So
kobolds. Oh, right. And I always forget about Dungeons and Dragons, because that's a big part of how a lot of this has been fleshed out.
Yeah.
Tolkien's story, at least when it comes to modern fantasy, is like the like stage one.
Yeah.
Like it's the foundation, I should say, of all of it. So you're just going to, if you're watching Lord of the Rings and you're like, wow, that is like that or like that, it's because everything basically takes inspiration from a version of it.
So cool.
And I think the thing that Tolkien took inspiration from was Germanic stuff like Beowulf.
Yeah.
Which is like so ancient that like it felt a little bit like disconnected at the time.
It seemed like from when I was like looking up things that he was just obsessed with like European lore in general. Like like all over that area, because like the elves are like Nordic. They're like based on Nordic. A lot of their stuff has like a lot of Nordic inspiration, and then like the humans were like British farmers, like ancient farmers, and something else.
I think he. I think when. I think he at some point he may have said that a big reason why he wanted to create the Lord of the Rings world is because he felt that all these other cultures had folklore or like legends or something, and Britain didn't have one, and he wanted to like create one.
Oh, that's so cool.
The Lord of the Rings is actually intended to be like a legend. Like,
wow,
it's not supposed to be a fake story. I think he wanted to make it seem like this was real, like British history.
Interesting.
Which is why he wanted to be so detailed with it, because he wanted to make it seem realistic, that it could have
really
actually
cool.
happened at some point, long time ago.
Yeah, because when I was looking, what I found really fascinating about it was like there was this thing that was written, because I was looking it up, where like Morgoth is supposed to be like the devil, like Satan, basically, and like Gandalf, Frodo, and there's one other character are supposed to be Jesus. Like Jesus, like symbols of Jesus. It's supposed to be the spirit.
Yeah, Holy Spirit.
The Son, the Spirit,
Father. Yeah, all
Father.
that name.
Yeah, I think Father is Gandalf, and the Son is Frodo, and then the Spirit is
Aragorn.
Well, it's funny
No.
because, like,
Who are
I
the-
mean, those comparisons are automatically going to be made because people like to
Do that.
like make allegories, but Tolkien famously hated allegory, and he went out of his way often to say my story is not allegorical in any way. A lot of people always say, oh, he was in World War One, and so like a lot of the battle sequences are like inspired by his experience in World War One, but that's like as far as it goes, as far as like him trying to compare real world events to his story.
Okay.
But like I said, a lot of that kind of thing is like automatically going to happen when people read things, because when you read something, you're translating your own personal experiences of the world.
I would
to it.
also argue though that like the reverse happens as well, where like it's kind of like when you're writing a song or anything, like you're taking inspiration from like what you know. So like he also probably was writing things that mirror those things, because those are like the stories that we know. Like when you're telling an epic tale, there's basically always going to be a Christ-like figure.
Yeah.
In an epic tale.
It's just storytelling like 101 for the most part. But yeah, as far as people saying like, oh yeah, Morgoth is supposed to represent the devil, I don't think it's supposed to represent the devil, but you can interpret it that way if you want. I think Morgoth is just supposed to represent like powerful evil in any form. Like you could just apply whatever you want to it.
The three, sorry, I just wanted to look it up just to like get it right. The three, at least, that people talk about the Christ figures are Gandalf, Frodo, and Aragorn. Gorn.
Yeah.
Gorn.
Honk your Gorn.
GROK. Aragorn.
GROK versus Gorn.
Grok-esque.
Oh, look,
GROK versus Gorn.
Begin. Oh man, we should use AI to make a bunch of epic rap battles of history.
That's such a good idea. I don't. Wait a minute. Okay,
that has to be real.
We
already,
should get
right?
you a meeting with the Musker.
Oh wait, we should make an epic rap battles of history. Rosanna Panzino versus Mr. Beast. Begin.
Nerdy Nummies versus
Nerdy Nummies versus.
We could call it. We can get away. We won't get sued by them because we'll call it Epic Rap Battles of Now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're cooking. And one of Rosanna.
Now that's what I call rap battles.
Okay.
Volume 33.
Okay. Rosanna, one of her lines will be, "I like my cheese moldy, bruh."
Oh, and then Mr. Breast will be like, "At least I don't make nerdy
Gummies. Well, he kind of does.
Yeah, he does. Gross. What a sick man. Okay, anyway, we're getting off topic.
Yeah, sorry.
what was the topic?
Well, it's a little bit Lord of the Rings. It's a little bit life.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a little bit slipped disc.
Yeah, we're not really on a topic. Let's just be honest.
Um,
Costco finds the bibimbap dumplings.
Bibbidi-bobbidi-boo.
Dumplings, frozen dumplings.
yeah, niece has been eating some dumplings. I can't have them because I'm gluten free.
Yeah, they come in a frozen tray of 6. And you heat them up for 2 minutes.
I've been deep throating Crunch bars created by Robert Irvine. Shout out Robert Irvine.
Fit Crunch bars, you can get those at Costco. They are Costco.
Who's Robert Irvine?
Costco.
He's some chef, Jack chef.
He's a Jack chef who was in charge, who made the very successful show called Restaurant Impossible. So don't say just some chef. He's not some chef.
Every chef has a show called Restaurant Impossible.
No, because he went on to do, in my opinion, more than Gordon Ramsay could ever do.
Whoa.
Because he had not only a successful show, he's jacked as fuck. More jacked than Gordon fucking...
Gordon Ramsay's pretty jacked too, though.
I was going to say, Gordon Ramsay...
Flabby.
No. Gordon Ramsay got fucking hit by a car when he was
Yeah.
bike riding.
I know.
And got the fuck up and then filmed. He was like, yeah, I got fucked. His whole body looked like it was one giant bruise. That guy's a warrior. Like, we got to be honest.
No, he actually got owned by a moving vehicle, is what you're describing. Robert Irvine would never put himself in that situation.
He would have dodged it.
I'll tell you what he would do.
Okay.
He would take his culinary expertise to make a product that is affordable and accessible to everyone.
Yeah, Chef Boyardee did the same thing.
Yeah, Chef Boyardee did first.
Boyardee?
Yeah, that's his. Yeah, Boyardee.
Nice.
Boyardee. Boyardee.
You mispronounced that. It's Boyardee.
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 But so the Crunch bars. I want to talk about some Costco finds because
Oh my gosh.
I think it's important.
No, it's good. I'm glad. It's just crazy because it just reminds me of the Costco guys, and it reminds me of that guy that we
Big
watched.
chocolate chunk cookie.
Yeah, no. The guy that we watch that does like Costco finds, like these are the Costco finds of the week or whatever. We finally watched it all the way through because we normally don't.
God,
And
this is crazy.
And we're watching and we're sitting there, we're eating our food, and he goes, "I love you. See you later." And we were like, "What?"
Yeah.
And we were like both like, "I love you."
Yeah.
We like rewound it.
Yeah, because he barely even shows his face in these videos.
Yeah.
It's like the most pointless thing. I'm pretty sure he records in front of a camera the whole time.
Yeah.
Like this. But he...
Puts B-roll.
The segments that he chooses
Yeah.
to show is like him saying 2 words. It quickly cuts away
Yeah.
to the Costco footage. And I'm
Yeah.
like, why are you even doing that? I understand like wanting to have some sort of like face behind it to be a little bit recognizable, but it's just so quick.
Yeah.
And then when we heard that, love you,
No, he said, "I love
I
you."
love you.
It wasn't even love ya.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a cat. It was "I
Right.
love you." And we were like, what the hell? Does he always say that?
Yeah.
So we went to like a bunch of different videos and he always says, "I love you" at the end.
Let me just say thanks for watching. I love you. Bye-bye. 4 extra months of Surfshark. I love you. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. I love you. Bye-bye. For 55% off your first month. I love you. Bye-bye.
He loves us. That was so
Well,
nice.
no, we're falling prey to his fucking, what do you call that?
Parasocial.
Parasocial
Yeah.
connection that he's making.
trying to trick you.
Yeah. I love you.
Yeah.
We should say "I love you" to our podcast.
Yeah, that ain't gonna get him to do shit.
But I don't love them.
Dane,
It would be a lie.
we love everyone. We love all of you.
Your capacity for
I don't know
loving
any of
them
them.
is high. Like,
Yeah,
if
if
you
I
were
get
put in
if
a
I got to
scenario-
know them, but I don't know
Right.
any of them.
My capacity for love for you is high. Just say that.
Okay.
I mean, the only thing that we have in common is that that we listen to these two talk.
Oh, that's true. The only thing we have in common is we listen to these two talk. But also, you probably also enjoy bands such as
No.
System of a Down.
No, I'm the only one that likes that band.
I've only heard of that band. Name 5 songs. You don't know anything about System of a Down.
Song 1, Song 2, Song 3, Song 4, and Song 5.
But yeah, no, it really shocked us that I love you. Costco finds the Smart Pop bags. You get 36 bags. That's pretty sick. We've been getting the Premier Protein.
There's nothing more fucking capitalism than buying a big box of individually wrapped bags of popcorn.
I don't know.
Cheapest.
I like it.
Fucking. Yeah.
No, you're right. I think
just
that
like a box full of air.
Let me be honest. I don't think that was much of a Costco find. I was kind of scrambling because I was.
Well, we wanted a normal, yeah.
Okay. No, I remember what I was going to say. Our Costco store is one of only 2, apparently. At least when I watched this guy's video upon recording it, one of 2 that has sushi and sashimi being offered. So that is
that's something special.
Yeah, that's something special. So sushi and sashimi we can get at our Costco, and it's good. It's good.
Man, I don't think we belong in Seattle.
I think we do.
No,
Hello?
I just
what's making you say that?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just getting a vibe. I'm thinking about it. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if anyone would have a podcast and talk about Costco, who's from Seattle.
Yes, Costco's from Seattle.
Yeah. What?
Costco was born in Seattle, wasn't it?
I don't think so.
Really?
I looked it up. I don't think that was it.
So are you saying that like if you wanted to feel more like a Seattleite, you'd be going to like a little mom and pop like Trader Joe's type
Yeah,
place?
definitely. And it probably wouldn't even come up in conversation.
Here's
on a
another
podcast.
Costco find.
We'd have so many other things to talk about, like this cool experience that we had on shrooms.
That's your fault.
Here's
Why
another
don't you just
Costco
go and
find.
do shrooms then?
Okay, I'll do that.
Here's another Costco find. Egg white bites.
Oh man, this is like a bad version of that guy's video. You just interrupt me and Dane. Hey, I also another thing.
I ate an egg white bite. Like a bite of an egg white.
No, I did like that though. Thank you for saying. I didn't actually think you were interrupting us. That was for comedic effect.
No,
I knew you were doing it for that purpose.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Did you know you can get your medications at Costco? A lot of people don't know that Costco has a pharmacy attached to it.
That's true. And it's a pretty good discount, the Costco discount.
Yes, and it also has, a lot of people don't utilize their gift cards. You can buy a pack of 5 Domino's gift cards.
That's
$20 gift cards for $100.
No, you can wait. No. You can actually get $100 gift cards for $20 off.
Yeah.
Like you pay $80 for $100.
Right. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
I said it wrong.
Which is kind of cool.
That's basically what it comes out to in my brain. I'm
Yeah.
like, I could pay $100 for $100. Cool.
No, but you're paying $80 for $100.
Yeah, paying $80 for $100 is like, I wipe my ass with that.
That just fucking makes no sense.
Yeah.
You wipe your ass.
I bought $100 for $80.
That is confidently the only thing I'll be like rich pilled about or like just a bit of an asshole is like that specific weird like I'll use a coupon for $1 off a fucking $20 item before I'll do a fucking pay $80
I'm gonna be
for
honest.
Domino's.
As someone who
for $100 worth of Domino's.
Because this is the difference
That seems
between.
crazy.
I mean, why not? If you're already buying Domino's.
Yeah, here's okay.
but like, who the fuck? You're now committed to a fucking Domino's experience.
I'm saying that if you already are buying Domino's, that's the
yeah. But
caveat.
now you're going to Costco to do
No,
that.
Ian. Wait. Okay, I think I have to stop this because you are. This is the difference between me and Ian. Just for anybody who's wondering, you moved out of your parents' house and had to like spend money and live on your own when you were making YouTube money. You were solo.
Oh, that's true.
You were whatever. When I was 19, moved out of my house and I worked 2 jobs.
Right.
And I'm telling you right now,
that would be a bonus.
Massive bonus.
Yeah.
Like a Subway card. There was a Subway card there, $100. You pay $80.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I wasn't thinking about.
That's massive.
You know, the frugal mindset.
It's not even about. I could. That's
No. I was thinking about in terms of like, okay, wait a minute.
okay.
I'm just thinking about me, like before my wife would cook me home cooked meals all the time.
Yeah, that's the other thing I cook.
And I'm like, wait a minute. I was pretty predictable with what I would be eating.
Yes.
It was like a Subway sandwich every day.
Yeah.
So that would be quite the savings. It would pay for the Costco membership.
Yes.
In a year, less than that.
Yeah. No,
the late night Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
Because you're definitely coming from a place of like
Yeah,
You have a wife
I didn't
that cooks
mean that.
for you.
I'm super privileged.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, not only
that's
yeah.
a big deal.
Yeah.
But
Ian, in the recording, look back about a minute, and you were like, the way you were positioned in your chair was so interesting.
it's because his like back is so fucked. I asked him
Yeah,
like when we
I
were
know why
walking
you're
home,
doing it, but it is funny. Like you were like trying to shape yourself as much like a pencil as possible. Or something.
I asked him when we were walking back home. I was like, "Man, are you going to be able to do the podcast?" He's like, "I'll figure it out."
Yeah, it's not too bad.
I mean, you're sitting down the whole time. It's not
Yeah.
like you gotta lift boulders during it.
Yeah.
But when I'm done with this, oh man, my ass is going on the bed, and I'm gonna put Merlin's heating pad right on the nape of my back.
I love how like my heating pad for my period cramps has now become Merlin's heating pad.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Merlin loves.
We'll
that
turn
thing.
the heating pad on for Merlin. It's just this little fucking, this little 8.5 by 11 sheet of fabric
Yeah.
that has cables going through it,
Yeah,
and he loves that.
he loves.
I'm gonna
it
be
so
honest. Even when I don't need a heating pad, sometimes when I'm on the couch during the winter and it's like cold in my apartment, just put it on, sit
Yeah.
on it. You know,
much. Ooh,
I think it's very
feels good.
Yeah, that's smart. That's really
Wait,
smart,
Dane.
especially when fucking
It's just
electricity
better than
is
a blanket.
expensive as
I
well.
was gonna ask, why don't you get a heated blanket?
Because those are too hot. I've had those
Oh,
before,
okay.
and they are like they make you start sweating.
Yeah, that's too
A
much.
pad
for
is a little bit more concentrated. You can kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, my hands are cold right now. I'm gonna put it under the heating, and immediately you get relief, as opposed to like if you were to do it with a blanket, where you gotta wait a little bit before
Smart.
it starts heating up.
Thank you for watching this episode of the podcast. We're gonna be back every week, though we might skip a week because we might take a little vacation.
Oh yeah, that's a. We've been consistent for like over a year.
Yeah,
So-
we're good. We can take a break.
Yeah, we might be going on a little vacation with us and the dogs.
But when the podcasters are away, the viewers will play.
yeah, Ian's also uploading more videos. So
Yeah. I will have probably like a squirrel video will be out soon. Squirrel series is coming back full force, and then also more bad unboxing and more regular commentary kind of memes. Thank you.
yeah,
And if you're mad that we didn't put out a podcast, then just go watch Joe Rogan. He basically does the same thing that we do.
Oh, that's a good. That's great. We should start telling people that.
yeah. Go watch Joe Rogan instead of
Yeah, like if you need more, just go watch Joe Rogan. It's like the same thing.
yeah, it's like the same thing. Yeah, I'm kind of like Joe Rogan.
I'm
In
genuine.
this, yeah, in this
Yeah.
situation. And Dane, you're like the guest.
I'm the guest that goes on like a racist tirade.
Oh,
and Joe just doesn't stop them.
Yeah, Joe's like, interesting. Why do you think that is?
Yeah. You think
You think?
when he says something out of pocket?
Yeah,
You really believe that?
yeah. No, I think Joe's kind of the kind of personality where he'd be like, interesting.
Yeah. Oh no, I've seen both.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hasta.
Joe Rogan says vista. La vista.
Baby!
Oh, wait.